From WNIJ Studios on the campus of Northern Illinois University, this is Sessions from Studio A. I'm Spencer Tritt, joined this week by our guest, Chord Boy. They're an indie rock band who have just released their sophomore album titled Bestie this past summer. Stay tuned for Chord Boy playing songs from that new record live in Studio A, and we'll talk with members of the band.
We had like a real big intention, I feel like, about this record. We did demos on demos before we really even went in to record it.
Live recordings and conversation with Chord Boy coming up this hour on Sessions from Studio A, right after these headlines.
The mastery of your brushstroke as you're painting me a love note, and you tell me about your family and the stuff that they did. I don't know why, but
Welcome to Sessions from Studio A, where we record local and touring artists here in Northern Illinois and Southern Wisconsin and bring their live performances to you wherever you're listening from.
I wasn't ready for the mess you made when
Chord Boy is our guest this week, joining us to play songs from their new album Bestie that came out in August. We'll also talk with the band about that album later on, but first, let's get right into the music with one from Bestie. This is Rewrite by Chord Boy, recorded live on Sessions from Studio A.
ink stains on your fingers, every word that you say lingers, every mark you make hinders every thought in my mind. I don't know how I ended up on the other side. The mastery of your brushstroke as you're painting me a love note, and you tell me about your family and the stuff that they did. I don't know why, but I feel like a little kid. And it's hard, and it's hard, and it's hard to believe in anything at all. But for you, but for you, but for you, I fall. Take the threads, unravel webs. Spring has come. Feel the sun let it sink in your skin. Let it win. Catching up to my breathing and realizing, thinking about you and what I should do. Think about what's best for me, and I teeter on the edge 'cause I'm afraid that it's not you. And I run in circles on a track, and I know I always come back to the wanting and needing and real, and I always come back to the feeling of falling, like it tethers me to land, like it tethers me to my own skin, breaking open and letting you in. I always come back, I come back in the end, but I know I'll get out again. Four, don't hear my footsteps on the floor, just the pull of wanting to be more. Five, it's not enough to survive, need to be faster than before, need to thrive. Slam, need to picture the pavement, I crave it, the patience, I need a sense of achievement. Six, it starts to stick. Seven gets me out of it, and I run in circles on a track, and I know I always come back to the wanting and needing and real, and I always come back to the feeling of not being enough for me or anyone. I always run remembering the cycle, like waking from a dream. 12, I can see behind me. I'm always running the steps and starting again, and then learning again and getting ahead. And the high of my body doing what it can do through the gravel that's stuck in my shoes. I feel new. And I'm done.
This is Sessions from Studio A, and you just heard Chord Boy playing live here in the studio with us in DeKalb, and I'm here with Chord Boy. Thank you so much for coming out to Studio A today and playing for us. We heard some notes and some chords from you. Let's start with a little of the history of the band, because Jordan, you mentioned in the studio that this started as a duo. So tell us a little bit about how Chord Boy got started.
Yeah, so I've, been writing my own singer-songwriter stuff for a long time, and during the pandemic, I was very lucky to be introduced to Avery via my roommate, who is his current fiance. I mentioned that I was making an album, and he mentioned that he wanted to help, and we created Night Bads, which is our first album that we released. It's more folky, and really we just started with that, going back and forth. We didn't actually record anything in the same room. We did all of it by just ping-ponging songs back and forth, and then he mixed and mastered. And then after that, we said, let's do real music and play gigs. And so we started a duo, and that's kind of where we put together our actual, our current sound, and what you heard there. So then we did duo for a while, and we made our album, our recent full band album, just us.
Yeah, we did. We recorded everything ourselves. We went to a studio to do drums, and then everything else we did ourselves, and then we mixed it and then mastered it. But during that whole thing, we met David, who plays bass now. Met him 2 years before we even finished the album, so we were we swear we're going to play shows. We're going to do stuff. I swear we just need to finish this record. And then Sam is a friend of ours as well, and Sam was itching to play some drums, so it just all came together really nicely.
All right. Yeah. So you're expanded into a full 4-piece now. And like you mentioned there, new album is out, came out in August, and people will hear the difference there between the first and second album. It's kind of cranked up a little bit with the drums added, more electric guitar versus acoustic guitar on the second album. I want to get into talking more about that in a second, but going back to what you said, Jordan, about you were sending files back and forth on the computer, and then you said you didn't really get the sound, though, until you got together, in person as a duo. Talk a little bit about that, kind of sending those ideas back and forth, but then coming together and solidifying the sound.
Yeah, there's such a genre difference just based on the availability of instruments. And so, I only play guitar and sing. Or at the time I only played guitar and sang. And so when we were sending things back, it was just very limited to the folk music I was creating. And when we got into, and then Avery was just kind of enhancing as it made sense for the songs that I had already written on an acoustic guitar. And so now, once we got into the practice space together, I had an electric guitar, and we just kind of started, I brought my songs to him, but before, we recorded anything, we actually wrote different parts to it. And Avery's really outrageously skilled on guitar, and he has that mathy influence. And so when he started doing his own just really cool riffs and bringing stuff to it, it kind of evolved us into a little harder of a duo, a more electric duo. And then, it kind of lent itself really well to full band.
I love it. Yeah, so mathy, you mean math rock kind of, with the kind of technical tapping in hammer-ons and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, totally. I love that kind of music, but then what was fun in meeting Jordan and writing with this was kind of that music influences me a lot, but with Jordan it was kind of these really wonderful, fully baked songs with a lot of great melody, which is a chance for me to kind of just be producer or whatever. How does a band fit around this? And that was what was fun about Night Bads, because it was kind of a mixing exercise, half of it. But then, when we started playing shows, we're what this would do well with some drums. This song would do well with some drums. So then we just kind of decided to make a full band album, and we were we'll figure it out down the road. So basically it was we came with these songs, wrote our 2 parts, and then laid out the structure on drums, agreed to it, and then kind of were we're going to leave open space for either harmonies or synth parts or other guitar parts as we kind of continue to form it. And then so we kind of figured out that duo, wrote the record, and then when Sam and David joined us, we were kind of like, now how do we take that record and make it into a
Oh, interesting.
4-piece thing?
And like you said, the albums were self-produced. You guys produced the albums yourself. Did you learn anything on doing that first record that you maybe brought into now doing this new album?
Yeah, I learned a ton. A bunch of boring technical stuff, like mastering, like where it comes to like saturation and all that good stuff. But really, I think it was like, we learned that instead of like the idea of like throwing, something against the wall, seeing what sticks is great. But we were like, we had like a real big intention, I feel like, about this record. So we demoed it like a lot. So we did demos on demos before we really even went in to record it. So we had the full album demoed out and basically mixed down to what we expected, and then we went out and did it, just so we kind of were like fully prepared on it, because that's kind of like what we wanted. Like maybe, some albums are journeys of like experimentation, and this one was, I think, more of a journey of like solidifying a sound and a little bit of experimentation on the side for fun.
I learned how to record to a metronome.
Oh, that can be
It's
be
huge.
very difficult when you're not used to that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a really silly thing for me to do for the first time. I'm embarrassed to say it, but
But
and
you nailed
I think it really worked out.
Hazy, like the morning in the mountains. I'm lazy. I'm not sleeping anymore. I feel crazy, but I'm trying to avoid that phrasing, and I'm weak. I'm weak. I'm weak. Stumbling over words when I speak. Running, but I can't feel my feet. I've got the spins. 'Cause I know in the end nobody wins. Hungover from being so turned over by you. Hungover, nobody makes me feel the way you do. Poisoned by you, out with the old, you're making me new. Jump in the water, feel the blue. When I see you tomorrow, I will act like it's cool. Spit the water from my lungs into the pool. No one has to know that I'm a fool. I'm a fool. I'm a fool for you.
Chord Boy with Fool, recorded live in WNIJ's Studio A. The band is Jordan Affelt singing lead vocals and playing guitar, Avery Black on guitar, David Lasky on bass, and Sam Asa on drums. We're hearing songs from their new album, Bestie, which came out this past summer. It's streaming on Spotify and Apple Music, and you can also download a copy over on their Bandcamp page. Also, check out more from Chord Boy on Facebook and Instagram at Chord Boy. And stay tuned with us here on Sessions from Studio A. We'll be right back with more music after the short break.
And the stains on your fingers, every word that you say lingers, every mark you make.
Welcome back to Sessions from Studio A. We're hearing from indie rock band Chord Boy and their new album Bestie, which is out everywhere. This next one is also from that new album, and I absolutely love the title of this one. This is Shrek Karaoke Party, recorded live by Chord Boy.
Never thought I'd be at a Shrek karaoke party, the saddest I've ever been, all dressed in green, and it's kinda funny, but it's kinda mean, and I got things, and I put them in boxes to get flight in my wings, and I put them in houses so I don't feel the sting of everyone around me watching me weep. And it's messed up, to see that after everything I've been through, there's still things I need, 'cause I fostered a garden and I dug up the weeds, but there's something in me that always feels incomplete. So I lie and I laugh and I sing and I sing, and I tell everyone you never knew anything, and I feel so silly, we're bursting at the seams. We say my life's a joke and we laugh, but I believe, and I know I'll be okay, like I always am. At the end of the day, in the hills, in the horizon, bright and fade on what's left of me. I always thought you'd get the best of me. Sitting at the station, waiting on a train to take away the lovesick part of my brain. She's always in the lead and she's always in the way. Take the parts of me that never feel okay. Take the baggage. I don't believe in fate. Leave what's left of me. I always thought you got the best of me.
I want to ask about a few of the songs you played in the set and a few that are on the new album, Bestie, Shrek Karaoke Party. I got to know about this title. Is there a story behind this song?
Yeah, it's I mean, it was at the time, the whole album is like loosely written during a period of time. So it's it's a crush album it's a friends to lovers crush album, I like to call it. But it's Shrek karaoke. There was a Shrek karaoke party at my house that it was with a week that I had gone through a really tough ending of relationship with crush friends to lovers. So he ended up coming to the Shrek karaoke party, and I was miserable the whole. It was a really fun party, but it was like also marred with like but also I'm depressed. And
that explains why it's probably the saddest song in the set today.
Yeah.
And I thought with that title, it was going to be
I know
a dance
everyone
party.
thinks it's going to be fun.
I
and
love
then,
it.
Yeah. And it's because like it was a fun party, but also like you can't not be sad when you're sad, and it's like you can be social and fun and like put on a good show. But then like I woke up the next morning like, am I empty inside? But
it's everybody's worst fear to be at a Shrek karaoke party, though, and then your ex comes in, like...
It's like you're invited, but you should know that you're not actually invited.
You're right.
Yeah. Another one you did that I think you put out as a single, too, for the new album, Girl Next Door. Tell us a little bit about that song.
Yeah, it's kind of like playing on the cliche of, I think... in general, when I write, it's very based off of personal experiences, especially in this album. I think it really like plays off of the cliche, like the 90s rom-com cliche of I like someone that everybody else likes, and like it's usually it's like cringy, and I usually like stray away from it, but actually like let's do it. Let me be like waiting on the sidelines for you to actually like pay attention to me. I'll be your best friend, like I'll be your like romantic end game, so it's kind of just like playing off of the like the goofy ways that rom-coms like spin stories, and the way when you have a crush on someone, it's a narrative in your brain, it's like oh, this is going to be our story that I'm going to tell when we're married. I'm going to tell my kids this story. Because that's what your brain does when you have a crush on someone.
I wasn't ready for the mess you made when you walked through the door, and now my chest is sore from my heart doing circles around my lungs. I never thought that you'd make it through the triage of my mind to be the centerfold, but you kept digging, then you struck the gold, and now I'm lost in the fold. Everybody wants you, and I want you alone. I want you alone. Oh, I could be your girl next door, waiting up till midnight for you to call and say goodnight, and tell me I'm the only one who understands. I could be your girl next door. You never saw me coming while you were out there on the run, but I swooped in and our feet are in the sand. I've got your hand. I hope everyone understands you were always my only plan. I wanted to be you and me in the end. Now I'm a magnet on a compass, and you're pointing me true north. I can't explain how unlike me this is. I never chase after bigger fish, but you got me caught in the middle of this. So make me a romantic cliche. You're already on my mind each and every day, and I'll write you songs that I'll never play. your girl next door, waiting up till midnight for you to call and say goodnight and tell me I'm the only one who understands. I could be your girl next door, waiting on the sidelines for you to find that I am just striped windswept golden hair up the stairs, out of breath because you've always cared. Just didn't know it back then, but it could be you and me in the end. I could be a girl next door, tie your heart in knots and we'll kiss on mountaintops. The stars are all aligned when we're there. We'll stop and stare, but we don't care, as long as you're right here.
Chord Boy performing Girl Next Door live in WNIJ's Studio A. That's another one from their new album, Bestie, which is out streaming on Spotify and Apple Music and available for download over on Bandcamp. We'll take another short break and be right back with more music from Chord Boy. We've got another one from the full band coming up, and we'll also hear some stripped down ones performed as a duo between Jordan and Avery here. This is Sessions from Studio A. Don't go anywhere.
Limited capacity for danger, where I grew up like a weed, far enough.
This is Sessions from Studio A. I'm Spencer Tritt. If you're just joining us, our guest is indie rock band Chord Boy, and their new album, Bestie, is out everywhere now, streaming on Spotify, Apple Music, and available for download over on their Bandcamp page. Here's another one from Chord Boy, recorded live in WNIJ's Studio A. This is You Don't Get to Leave Me.
Turning leaves feels like empty streets. The smallest town west of anywhere I'll ever be. Apple picking strangers, limited capacity for danger. Where I grew up like a weed, far enough from the sea, but close enough to fear it. I met you some month, I don't remember which one. You're stronger than anyone, like a wall or a house. The only one strong enough to see this out. Summer nights feel like that time you picked me up when I crashed my first car. You were the only one available when I called. You are the only one reliable enough to pick me up when I fall. And everyone's gone, everyone's found a way out, and everyone's gone, so you don't get to leave me now. December feels like a month back home in a house too small to call my own, and a long night where we cried and realized we don't deserve the hand we were dealt in life. And when the people that you love have a sickness, the only thing we can do is be the glue and hope they don't cry.
love that you two have kind of brought, different influences in, but it really seems like blended together really well with the two of you.
Yeah, I think, we share a lot of similar influences, but then also don't share a lot of similar influences. So I think it lends itself well, because when Jordan comes to me with a song, I can kind of like tell the intent, or like where what we want to do. If it's gonna be poppy, is it gonna be down tempo or something, and so it's kind of just like great, and then I'm gonna like fit in the things I'm interested in into it, because like there's so much space to be able to do that. That's why I love that. It's like a very open canvas, and it's just like my number one rule is just like don't step on the melody, and that's it. And then after that is we're kind of home free. So
yeah, and it's like nice. It's also, I think my favorite thing too is that I grew up listening to so much emo, punk pop, and like being obsessed with like fun guitar riffs. But then really songwriting for me has always been limited to like, I don't like playing more than chords and stuff. So I've always been like, man, I guess I'm just going to be an acoustic pop girly for the rest of my life,
Is this where the name Chord Boy came from?
Yeah, it was. Because I learned how to play guitar just playing Taylor Swift songs, and she only plays chords in her early music. Like, it's so clearly written with just bass line, like major chords. And so
Most songs are.
so true. And so like it's just so nice that now I'm like, oh wait, we can do that, because Avery can do these riffs that I never like thought I could do. So it's awesome.
What is coming up next for the band here as we get towards the end of this year? What do you guys have on the horizon?
Well, we've got the Asia Pacific tour. No, I think I think we want to play shows and just like really like hang and enjoy being a band for a little bit. I think we definitely, we made this album for like 2+ years. So we're really exhausted with recording. So I think right now we just want to like learn the songs as a full band, rip some gigs, and just like see what happens there and like enjoy being musicians.
I think the big one is learning the rest of the songs, because it's funny when you spend 2 years making a record and then you write these songs, and then we all came together and learned these specific songs, and now we're like, okay, great. And then when you go back to these other ones that you haven't touched in so long, you're like, okay, let's break it all down. And
you got to kind of relearn your own songs.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's going to be a fun next step for us while we like build out a couple sets.
Yeah. And it's cool to hear how you guys, play them differently live too, and how that's kind of evolving as you guys, have become a 4-piece now. So it's cool to hear that evolution. Where can people find more of your music? Social media, give us all that good stuff.
Yeah. Avery's pulling up the handles right now.
It's Chord.boy on Instagram, right?
Chord.boy on Instagram. From there, you can find a nice little hyper follow. Actually, our website is like probably the most central place for everything. Like, you can get merch. We do like custom bedazzled shirts and stuff.
Bestie booty shorts.
Yeah, I might take those off. They took so long to make. But they are
Get 'em
awesome.
Wow,
You gotta get 'em.
You better hurry, folks.
Yeah, by the time this is out, it's over. But no, you can find us on Spotify, Chord Boy, Chord as in CHORD, like Chord Overstreet, if anyone remembers him, or like Guitar Chord. So, and we're on Spotify, Apple Music, everything, YouTube, etc.
Facebook. What's our website? I thought it was Chord.
It's chordboy.weebly.com.
Chordboy.weebly.com.
Yes.
Anything else to plug that we forgot before we close out here?
Thank you.
Yeah,
to
thank
you.
you to
Thank you,
WNIJ.
Spencer. Yes.
Yeah, thanks for
Thank
having
you
us.
so much, Chord Boy, for coming out and playing for us today. Great show. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Words in and out of my ear, you say everything I wanna hear. Runaway boy in a state where it rains, and you gain a little ground, then you take it away, and you're miles from my door. I know you'll never make it, but promise me you'll fake it. You're a skeleton train on its way through the Rockies, and I find it insane. You can't see right through me, we're as empty as black holes in space. We'll never find each other this way, and I don't have a nickel to pay for a ticket. Guess I'll risk it. You find me in pieces and tape me up neat, but the cracks in my shell know that I'm incomplete. 'Cause I walk on a high line above city streets, and the wind in your eyes could knock me off my feet, but you're so far away and I'll never be complete. So you fill up a space for a moment or three. A skeleton train on its way through the Rockies, and I find it insane. You can't see right through me, we're as empty as black holes in space. We'll never find each other this way, and I don't have a nickel to pay for a ticket. Guess I'll risk it. And I'm stuck in a cave where I'm sad all the time, and I want to escape so that you can be mine. But the veins of this mountain run through you and me both. Together we can hold the weight of the lifeboat. But I'll hold your hand as we float our separate ways. Skeleton train. I'm sifting through condolences, aiming to find some action or a word that could change your mind. If there was a mountain that I could climb, or a sweater I could knit that could cover up the pit where your heart should be, maybe then, baby, you wouldn't have left me. If I could fight a final boss in a dungeon far below, I'm just an artist with a loss, but I'd grab my shield and bow, and every puzzle that I'd find, I'd solve it very slow. If there was a open the possibility that you choose me and you choose not to leave. Because I'm an actions type, not just because of my Capricorn rising sign. Wanna make things right, fill up the hole in my side where you put your hand in and ripped out my peace of mind. And I could do my part, and that wouldn't change your vacant heart.
Chord Boy performing live on WNIJ's Studio A with that song Vacant Heart, and before that we heard Skeleton Train. Both of those are off of their first album, Nightbads, and also this hour we heard the full band performing from their new album, Bestie, which just came out this past summer. You can find that album and more music from Chord Boy streaming on Spotify and Apple Music, also available for download over on Bandcamp. And you can check out more on their website, that's chordboy.weebly.com. They're also on Facebook and Instagram at chordboy. Thanks so much to the band once again for coming out and performing. The band is Jordan Affolt singing lead vocals and playing guitar, Avery Black on lead guitar, David Lasky on bass, and Sam Asa on drums. Also thanks to you for joining us this hour. You can head over to WNIJ.org to find this full episode and many other episodes of Sessions from Studio A. We also have behind-the-scenes video of performances posted on there as well. If you are in a band or you are a local artist and you'd like to be featured on our show, send us in a submission. Email us with some music at sessions@niu.edu. Sessions from Studio A is produced at WNIJ Studios on the campus of Northern Illinois University. Producers are Sam Nofsker, Mike Lundgren, and yours truly. I'm Spencer Tritt, and thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time on another edition of Sessions from Studio A.